You see, this COVID had created a health pandemic, okay? And has also created a corruption pandemic. Look, the Minister of Health and his officials appeared before the Health Committee of Parliament to justify their 2020 budget estimate. In that conversation, they were telling us that they have expended 32 million Ghana cedis on meetings and conferences. In the era of COVID, when there is a greater advocacy on Zoom meeting, were they using the 32 million Ghana cedis to buy data? I mean, the expenses are just ridiculous. Government is telling us that they spent 254 million on hand sanitizers. Go and look at the people they've given the contracts to. Go and find out the people that have gotten this contract to supply this hand sanitizer. Government is telling us that on nose masks, they spent 127 million Ghana cedis. They spent 197 million Ghana cedis on tissue. Now, if you are setting up a factory to produce tissue, would it even cost the taxpayer 197 million Ghana cedis? So, you cannot in one breath be telling us that we should sacrifice, we should tighten our belt, we should burden share, when you have not demonstrated that you are willing to sacrifice for the people of this country. Our president, the most ridiculous one that I've even seen. You have a president that assigns a whole V8 to carry his chair.
The chair?
Yes.
There's a separate
V8 that carries it. But in fact, initially I thought it was not true until I saw it.
I don't believe it.
Look,
I don't
look. The first time when I saw it myself, I was shocked.
No, Richard.
The burial grounds of a retired Supreme Court judge. I went with H.E. John Mahama when the president came. Obviously, he's the last person to come. A whole V8 dedicated to the chair.
No one was sitting in it.
With the guard.
The driver.
The driver and the guard.
And by the way,
you see, you are shocked. That whole V8 is assigned to carrying the president's chair. That's how it's almost to the level of insanity.
But come to think of it, if that chair must follow the president everywhere he goes, it has to be carried anyway.
The various regional coordinating councils.
Yeah.
They cannot get a chair for our president to sit on.
He wants his chair.
You see, Annie.
Let me move.
You see, Annie, some of the things that are happening, we are getting to the point of insanity.
Okay.
Because some of them you cannot even justify it. What is the justification for providing the whole V8 to carry the presidential chair around? And look, if you see the raft of taxes that government, this incompetent administration, is imposing on the good people of this country, this is not what.
But this chair, thing, I want to believe it's a spiritual belief. Because the way it has been done religiously.
Who should be funding the president's spirituality? The taxpayer. That the taxpayer. If the president has received his spiritual direction, why should that be the burden of the Ghanaian taxpayer? You see, we are, like I said, some of the things, they are to the point of insanity now. To think that a government that is telling you and I, okay, to sacrifice, to share burden with them, to tighten our belt, they don't even have a belt hole. So how can you? Where is the leadership? Leadership is by example.